the executive's office, who Unique was going to see. Not waiting for an approval, response, or even taking a second to acknowledge the dirty looks the secretary was giving her, Unique strolled on through like she owned the place. Let Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj battle all they want. It's clear, in this moment, who the true queen bee really is. Unique thought as she threw her long hair over her shoulder and kept it moving to the destination at hand. Unique sashayed into his office with a white and blue bag filled with his favorite brownies from an uptown bakery. "I thought you had school until 6, he asked, happy but puzzled to see her, since she wasn't in the culinary classes that he had bankrolled. "They let us out early due to ventilation problems." She dropped the brownies on his desk. "Did you make these?" He saw the bag from the bakery, but he asked the silly question anyway, mesmerized by her complete being. She was wearing a low-cut, short, red, Hervé Leger dress from which he couldn't peel his eyes away. Not until she stepped behind his desk, dropped to her knees, and started unbuckling his belt. "No, I picked them up for you, babe. I figured they were the next best thing to my baking them for you," she answered, as she became preoccupied with his Italian leather belt. He knew he had a meeting in 5 minutes, but Unique had the belt undone on his tailored slacks and his dick in her hand before he had a chance to protest. That is, if he had been stupid enough to do something as ridiculous as protest. Even former President Clinton knew better than to exercise his veto power to protest a blowjob, and Monica Lewinsky's oral game had nothing on Unique's state-of-the-art head jobs. Besides, he'd learned that when it came to Unique's spontaneity, it was always best to let her do her. And the girl did her, oh, so well. The lucky fellow on the receiving end of Unique's naughty but kind gesture was Kennard Duval. He was a dapper guy with plenty of that Harlem, USA swag. He never left the house unless he was suited and booted from head to toe. Indeed, he had the best of both worlds. He was hugely successful boxing promoter, putting together world-class prize fights, and still had a hand and a foot in the know of the streets. But nothing was more phenomenal to him than the blows he was getting to the head from Unique. Not only was she drop-dead gorgeous with her exotic looks, but her greatest attribute was that she was a world-class head boxer herself. Unique had her lips around his penis like they were vice grips, and when Kennard was almost at the point where he was about to bust off, his secretary's annoying, high-pitched voice distracted him as it came across the intercom. "Mr. Duval," she said, "your 1 p.m. is here." "Damn," Kennard responded under his breath. He'd almost forgotten about the appointment just that quickly. But not only that, she fucked up his nut. Surely that was grounds for him to fire the bitch. Regaining his senses, he said, "Okay, tell them to give me 10 minutes to finish up here," before stabbing the disconnect button with his finger. Shit. Unique's $1,500 hair weave filled his lap. "All I need is 2 minutes. I promise. I got you," she said, never once looking up or losing focus on her task at hand. Though the sound of her voice made him lose his concentration, it didn't make him lose his heart on, especially with Unique's on her job the way she always was. She knew that Kennard was in heaven. From prior experience, Unique was certain that Kennard's eyes were rolling to the back of his head when she heard the high-pitched moans of pleasure escape his clenched teeth as she submerged one, then the other, of his heavy balls into her mouth. A little noon head was her way of saying, "Hello, honey, how's your day going?" And if it hadn't already been going good, after this mission, Unique was on. It would be guaranteed to be going pretty damn great. Kennard called out, "Jesus," and he wasn't even Christian, as Unique executed her patented and creative head boxing technique with her tongue and jaws. Bobbing and weaving, then sucking and slurping a few more times, Unique made sure that